Jessica Bowman. Me, my friend. It's always good to see you and talk to you. And it's been such a good time doing this podcast with you. You've been pretty amazing at it for somebody who has never done anything like this before. So thank you.
I just wanted to say that, but it's been fun actually. I like it. I'm natural.
Yeah, you are natural. Yeah, you come off very natural and authentic, which
I
is
feel like
important, and people appreciate that authenticity.
yes. Me and Ben always said that we should have our own TV show because we're just weird and funny. More weird than anything, but
Right. Well, and I've talked about that. We've had some discussions, and like one couple things, like you should have your own cooking show, just your plain old cooking show, and also like the renovation that you've been doing to your home should have been. I mean, we might have missed an opportunity there because you guys have an incredible home that you guys have that Ben and you have been working on renovating. It's an old uh home in St. Augustine. What year was it originally built? Do you
so
know?
my father-in-law, who he's an historian, he says this house is about from the 1880s, but the paperwork only backs to like the 1920s. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with more of the 1880s.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy. I mean, you're in the oldest city ever. I mean, from historical documents, the oldest city established in the Americas.
Yeah.
At the time, it was owned by Spain, St.
Hmm.
Augustine, Florida.
They love it here.
So that it's very cool. And you do.
Um,
What's your favorite thing about your town,
my town,
city, town, your city?
I
What's your favorite thing about St. Augustine?
living on the water. Even though, believe it or not, I
Yeah,
don't go to the beach that often, I just love that, the ocean.
the ocean air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Houston, which was probably about an hour or more from Galveston Beach, and we used to go there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So just being on the like a real ocean, because Prescott Beach or the Hastings Beach, whatever beach is right by the Prescott Bridge, is like this big.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember when we first moved up
Yeah.
there, we were like, wait, where's the beach?
This is the yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
and
River beaches up here. River beaches are different,
I don't
but
like
we
the
appreciate.
snow.
We love our river up here.
Yeah.
Mm, I'm not a big fan.
So yeah.
So, while we have everybody's attention, I would like to remind you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, please. And also share, like when we say share it with your family, share any social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, to your other friends, um, anything, Instagram, Twitter, or X, or whatever it is. Please share it so we can get other eyes on our show. We can build our platform. There's one question that I've gotten is if our show can go live, and once we get to a certain level on YouTube, we will be able to go live, but we need the help of all of our listeners to do that. And it's about 75% of people who listen to our podcast are not subscribers. So if we could go ahead and up that total and go ahead and just click the button, subscribe to our channel, please. We very much appreciate it. And,
Yes.
we want to bring more content, and we want to get we want to interact with our audience as well, because
Yeah.
you know this is a you have anything to say, get feedback on what other folks want to talk about, want to hear us talk about. What do we talk about? We talk about anything, so
Right. I think live would be fun.
a lot of fun. And then we can talk about comments that are coming in real time and
Right.
talk about those stuff, and also good, bad, ugly, whatever, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Not
So make
afraid
sure you
of correction.
subscribe.
So click that button, please. Pound
Click
it,
it.
smash it, as they say in the business here.
Is that what they say?
Had to get that out of the way. So, one thing I wanted to talk about with you today Jessica, is
Yes.
motivation. Because as we talked earlier, you're kind of for whatever better for worse, you're lacking that for a certain reason yourself a little bit. And I don't know if you want to talk about that or if you're okay with it. I want to be, I don't want to get it misunderstood, but
Misunderstood. Yeah, today I just was not motivated to do anything. But I'm not gonna lie, after I got my coffee, I came back and I was like, you
Starbucks.
know what? Yeah, my Starbies. I had a little bit of I had a little bit of motivation. So it's Starbucks is that motivation for me some days.
That's all you need to get yourself going. Hey, that's good though. Good for you. I mean,
Yeah.
if that's all it takes to, all right, I got this. I treated myself, and now I got to go take care of business. You know,
Yes, let's go
that's
cook,
a good way to
clean.
do it though. I mean, because hey, that I mean, you need to reward yourself for one,
Yeah.
just hey, making it through another. It's okay. And that's I struggle with that shit a lot of time because how to you know use it in a positive way as far as like hey, sometimes when you're dealing, as we are big advocates for mental health on this show, but we're dealing with, you and I both deal anxiety and depression. And when you're depressed, you don't feel like doing shit, so it's hard to find motivation, which is not a
Right.
good thing for life. It's not a good thing to just, and I've been stuck in ruts, where I just, and that's part of, hey, wanting to get out here and do this podcast, and do something, to be, productive. And
Mhm.
um your
I
your
think
thoughts
it's
on that?
I think well, speaking of this podcast, I think it's just as much for us as it is to try to help others too.
Yep.
Um, but like I said, my motivation varies. I have some days where I have zero motivation and I'll just want to lay around all day. Um, and then some days I'll wake up and be like, let's get everything done. I'm cleaning, I'm running errands. But
Right.
usually when I'm having a rough day, by like 5 or 6, I'm a late coffee drinker, but by 5 or 6, I'll go get my Starbucks and it like resets me. So I come back and I have a little bit of oomph in my step.
Mm-hmm.
What motivates you?
It's me. Well, I've set some pretty lofty goals for myself as far as like the projects that I've started and the things that I'm doing. And my what motivates me is the fact that I've had positive feedback as far as like things, podcasts like this and just being a voice in general,
Right.
that people one enjoy listening to the content and whatever, and in whatever version, whether it's making people laugh on other social medias and just doing stuff, like people enjoy it. And that honestly, that motivates me because I feel like it's honestly my duty that if I can help somebody out just by being a goofball or whatever it is, or doing a serious podcast, that
By being
I
yourself.
must do it because that. And it is, yeah. I mean, yeah. And it is just me being me. I mean, there's nothing like I do prepare for these shows and stuff as best I can, but in the
Right.
end, it's just me being me, and so that motivates me to, you know, kind of try to,
I agree.
uh, yeah,
I agree on
just
that one too. That gives me
stay.
motivation to keep doing this. Yeah, for sure.
And we've had a lot of positive. I was talking about this last night on the sister podcast. If Um, I can, in my estimation, if I can help one person, one person get through their day, get through whatever it is they're
Right.
going through, which by the way, I've already had feedback, saying we are helping and people are enjoying,
Yay.
obviously like we talked about before, a lot of, yes, and it's awesome. Like I've literally heard people tell me that the podcast is helping them. And it's like that is the most amazing feeling ever. It's like That's why
Right.
we're doing it.
That's
That's
what
why
we're
we're
here for.
doing this. Yeah.
Mhm. That's
And
so
to get
cute.
out there, it's awesome.
Yeah.
To put ourselves out there and, for somebody else to hear, hey, we're here for you. We go through the same damn struggles that everybody else
Right.
goes through,
Right.
and that's like, right before when we joined here on our app, I got the hype music going. I'm trying to pump myself up.
You
It's
was
not like
jamming.
I can just get on here and just, it's all, I gotta get going. I gotta get myself like, but
What
I'm doing it
amp
for you,
yourself
the
up.
people. That's why we're here. We're a voice. Yeah. Gotta get hype. Gotta bring that
Right.
energy, because that's what everybody wants. And
Yeah.
that's what we're here to bring. We're going to keep bringing it.
Keep bringing it.
That's my motivation, and it
It's a
feels
good
good.
one.
Like you said, yeah, we're
I
doing it for
like it.
ourselves. Thank you. As much as anyone, because, hey, So with that, I think I'm going to hop right into 3 questions, because that's a
Eh,
perfect lead in to 3 questions.
Okay.
And right before 3 questions, we're going to go ahead and shout out our sponsors, G's Positive Pet Training Solutions. If you've listened to the show, you know all about it, and you know that we do have the code MIZMIZ15 for 15% off your purchase at G's Positive Pet Training. It's a tongue twister. Cheese Positive Pet Training Solutions, where you have all your pet training needs, from our feather friends to our fishies to our furry friends. And the link will be down below for everybody who wants to get a little something for their pet and get 15% off. That's
Check
Cheese
them out.
Positive. Check them out and
Check them out.
support. It's actually a friend of mine who is running the business, so as a friend, I would appreciate your help as well. And then we're working with Ally Supportive Services, homeless outreach program, and we would encourage everybody to reach out to Ally if you can, and maybe donate. If you got $5 to help towards a gas card, a gift card to a restaurant, or to get these folks some food. We're really working to erase a lot of stigma in the homeless community. And if everybody wants to check out, there is the Unfiltered and Ally for Homeless podcast that I do with my sister who works in the homeless community. We're trying to raise a lot of awareness and raise stigma for that. And we could use everybody's help, because we talk about a lot of things about that. Well, we can get to that if we want today. But anyways,
Yeah.
shout
Help
out
support your
Ally
community.
Supportive Service. And that's the thing. We talk a lot about, being community that's one of the biggest words that there's different communities as far as, it can be a racial thing, honestly, and it can be but it's a society thing as far as all of
Yeah.
us coming together as one and just respecting humanity, like the law of humility that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And, we just, it's a fight worth fighting in my mind. And also supporting, there's a lot of homeless veterans and a lot of veterans dealing with mental health issues. There's PTSD, there's other things
Yeah.
and there's a lot of folks that, it's just have come on hard times, and they're not lazy people. They're just
Right.
have had a hard time, and
Yeah.
then I make this syrup, brown sugar, cinnamon sauce, and
Ooh.
I put them in a glass baking dish, and I pour the sauce. The glass baking dish is key, because the syrup, cinnamon sauce is a beer to get out of
Yeah.
So then you bake those, a little more cinnamon on top, and they're just a sweet, syrupy cinnamon potatoes. I mean, they're probably
Okay.
not
Those
healthy,
sound
but
good.
it's very. I get
That does sound
requested
good.
every holiday. I have to make them because the fam's like,
Look at
bring
you,
your
Papa
chick.
Sai.
That's right.
You
That's
you
right.
have a dish.
I have a dish. I made the Easter ham this year. I
Ooh.
usually, I usually do, like, I like the green bean casserole for the holidays. Eggs.
Not a fan. I
Not a
don't know
lot
if
of
this is a
people are.
southern. No, I don't know if it's a southern thing, but Ben's
I don't
parents
know either.
introduced us to corn pudding. So it's basically like cornbread with corn in it.
Yeah,
I don't like corn, but that is like
I like corn.
one of the favorites for holidays around here.
Yeah, hey, I try it.
I'm sure you would.
I really enjoy the cheesy hash browns with cornflakes in them. You ever had that?
Cornflakes?
Yeah, there's like hash browns with a bunch of like cheese and stuff in them, and then there's like cornflakes.
That does actually sound really good, that crunch.
It's fan freaking tastic. Folks out there know what I'm talking about. And I don't
I
know
might
how
have
we
to
got
try
on
it.
this, but look it up. Yeah, it's really good. Like, oh, fantastic. So,
Ooh, I'm hungry. Quit talking about food.
anyways, that we that was. I'm starving right now. We gotta hurry up. I'm just kidding.
For real.
Um, so that was dovetailing off of the what was your favorite meal to cook, and then we go down our rabbit holes with our topics. But
All the
my
time.
third and final question for you is, what is your favorite thing about your personality? Stand the question.
I do. And my first thought was my I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah, facts.
So,
I like that.
but it's a toss up between I don't give a fuck, but I'm also the type who will literally give you the shirt off my back.
Yeah.
So, those are like right there. Can't pick one.
Yeah. Same thing. Like, I don't give a fuck yet. I'm absolutely, I don't know what the word, gracious,
Empathetic.
I guess, is
Oh,
empathetic. There you go. Yes.
I'm hella
So
empathetic.
mirror that is, I don't give a fuck attitude. Like, to me, man, it's like, ooh, sometimes I got to scale myself back. I'm like I was at work the other day and we were talking, some fellas were talking politics, and they're like, you need to care about this. I'm like, but I just don't. Like,
Pump your
about the whole
brakes.
politics and all this bullshit. I'm like, I just don't care. I'm sorry. And if that offends anybody, and you can talk about my job as an American, whatever,
Then, oh well.
I just don't concern myself with.
I'm right there
I
with
just
you.
don't
I
concern
don't.
myself with it because
Why? So we can have something to.
exactly
Yeah. But I'm with you too. I match vibes. If you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck.
right. I guess that's probably
But
why that kind of makes perfect sense why the two of us are on a podcast together, because like you said, vibes matching and just the kind of same personalities and same way of thought. That's why I wanted to ask that question about you. And one thing I wanted to contribute to that is, um, one of the things about your personality that I enjoy is, one, you're a good person in general. Like, just, you care about people,
yeah,
and you're fun to be around. You're fun to talk to. Like, you got good vibes. You got good vibes. And
hella
there's
good
something to be
vibes.
said about it. Yeah. Like, whenever
I
we
am.
talk,
I'm
it's like, even
very.
if it's, we can talk,
I I try to be. I don't know how to put it. I just try to be a better person, a better me every day.
hey, progress. If
Because
you
there
can
was
get
times that I was
1%
just
better,
right, and there was times where I was just a little asshole. I was I was just an asshole. Like, there's
I've been there.
things that I know I've done back in my day that I've actually apologized to people, whether it was to family members or friends, whatever.
I've definitely been there. I haven't always been the best person in my life. Uh, those who have known me for a long time know, I'm not gonna, talk about a lot of the past stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely there was a time, a
Hey,
period
all we
as
can
a
do
young
is move
man
on.
that I did, and I try to learn from it, and I try to teach, um, other, as I've been a coach, as I've been, now a role model to a lot of young folks in the community here who follow a lot of what we're doing and what I'm doing as far as social media stuff. A lot of the kids in the community follow, and I
Yeah.
try to be a good role model, and I try to, you know, you know, try to help them not make the mistakes that I made as a young man, in starting with, my own son, and as I've been
He's
down
a
some
pretty
paths
good
that were,
kid.
hey, he's a great kid. He's an
He's
amazing
very
kid, and
respectful. I just love him. You did good.
yeah, he, thank and,
Aunt
and
Jess is
as a
proud.
sick, she's very, and he loves you too. I was telling him, we were right before the show started, talking to him about it, and he's super proud of you, and he's, you know loves the fact that we're doing this podcast, and you know it's awesome.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
but
good kid.
as a father, yes, as a father of a teenager, you gotta just still guiding that young man on his way, and trying to lead by example, which
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be cognizant of all the time in
Right.
everything you say, and it's something that you know he's my firstborn, and it's like you learn as you go. I've never
Mm-hmm.
raised a teenager before, so I'm just kind of learning as I go.
Yeah.
But
It really is a learn as you go type of situation.
yeah, but it's super fun, and it's it's always, as your kids grow older, these times when they're younger, oh, they're so precious, and your two are just lovely, and Cam and Livy. It's so much fun, like watching them grow too, and like, yeah, they got their little attitudes and stuff, but
Little mouth.
you know,
They like to run their
mouth.
mouth.
I wonder where they get.
Listen, we don't need to even go
Wonder
there.
where they
Obviously, it's
get. We
from
don't
their
know that.
dad.
I can see that look on you, and you're like, no, no.
Ben's not
So
innocent, though, so.
you don't think so?
No, I know so.
We're not gonna drag him through the mud here on our show. We love Ben. I love Ben.
Anybody who knows
Um,
Ben, even like your situation, you just know each other from FaceTime and phone calls and whatever.
yeah.
Everybody freaking loves Ben. Everybody. I hit the jackpot.
Well, he's a good dude, and happy belated birthday too. By the way, I did get the belated birthday, Benny. I guess it was the last podcast we were talking, anyways. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a good dude, like, and that actually leads into very well into our first law of karma, or our next law of karma that we want to talk about, the fifth law of karma. As we've been going through and talking about the 12 laws of karma, we do a couple of them every day or every episode that we talk about, and this one is the law of responsibility. And I think that, when you're a self-made man and a business owner, you got to be kind of responsible a little bit. But as far
Oh,
as
yeah.
law of responsibility, it's not just like saying, okay, responsible as far as paying bills, as far as, having a job. It's also the responsibility as a human, as we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, our responsibility for the earth, and
Mm-hmm.
taking care of, you know, like, I'm a person that it sucks because I feel like I'm cleaning up after people, but when I see trash, like if I'm walking through a parking lot, it's like a piece of trash is blowing through. Right? Well,
Yeah.
this is gonna end up, in some place it doesn't need to be. Pick it up,
Right.
throw it away. It's all about a responsibility, and this is all. When I talk about these laws of karma, it's my own version in a nutshell as far as the meaning. So if anybody
Yeah.
wants to say,
I
fine,
mean,
but
there's that kind of responsibility, but then there's a responsibility that people have a hard time admitting to, or like, what is it? Taking
Kind of
responsibility
owning
for
up
their
to their
actions
own.
or words.
Right. There's that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's rough to deal with somebody who does not take responsibility.
big that's a big thing, and that's a big part of karma is when you are, you may be, let's say, in a better way of committing acts of betrayal in a way, a better way to
Yeah.
put it, you know, whether it be, hey, I promised you that you gave me a favor, you let me, whatever it is, stay at your house. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is gonna get a little personal. You let me stay at your house, and now you have now made a mess of the place I allowed you to stay in. You have a responsibility to respect the person that gave you that, you know, that handout, I guess, if you will. I don't really like the word handout, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you
Helping
have a
hand.
responsibility to respect the helping hand. Yes. So now, in turn, it's a simple thing as it's like borrowing something from a neighbor and returning it within time and returning it, in good, intact
Right.
the way you got it.
And it's like a fine line between responsibility and obligation in certain situations too. Like giving out the helping hand, you should feel and want to be responsible to do what you need to do instead of being obligated to do it.
And that's and by laws of karma, the way you handle those situations is how your karma is going to come back to you. And people cannot believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm a living freaking book that karma is real and karma is true. Good, bad. It can happen like that. You can
Yeah.
change your karma, not like, and the long distance thing of karma is like, you can, like, it doesn't just stick to this lifetime, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
You
what
said
you
that
do
before.
in this lifetime will affect the next one. If you believe, you can believe in it or not, but that's the way the laws of karma work. Is there's a part of it where is reincarnation. We can get into that, but like, it evolves over many lifetimes. So you may be dealing with some stuff that you did in another lifetime that you don't even know, and that's deep in the
Right.
weeds on this stuff. But if you think about that, though, like we talked about treating how we treat homeless people, like you think about, well, is this going to come? If I treat somebody like shit, it's going to come back to you in one way or the other. It's gonna. That's
Listen,
just the way.
I have a quick story about that before we move on about
All
karma
right.
and the way people treat homeless. We had a whole like Facebook page that was dedicated to trying to get the homeless off our street, but not dedicated in a good way. They kind of just talk trash and try to push law enforcement on them.
Yeah.
And it was some of the top, I think they were the admins of it, but some of the top people in that Facebook page ended up getting arrested because she chose to go onto her property. She ended up getting herself trespassed from a property because she was constantly going over there messing with the homeless and whatever. And she got arrested for trespassing. And it was just I kind of laughed because she was a bitch. The way she talked about them and how much effort she put into talking about them and wanting to degrade them, she deserved it. Oh, and she was carrying that night too. I don't know if she got in trouble for that, but karma.
Right. There you go. And that's one thing I was
Mm,
talking about last night. Um, I'd like to know a lot of the people that are hating on the homeless situation. What other rights you are fighting for? Whether they're silly rights, and I'm not going to get into it. Everything turns into politics, but we're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, what other
yeah,
stuff are you really an advocate for? That these people are just persona non grata, which is unwelcome. You know,
yeah.
ridiculous. Uh,
So ridiculous. Ugh.
have some humility, as we talked about,
Right.
which
Compassion.
Yes. It's so that actually leads into the sixth law of karma, which is the law of connection. So basically, meaning, like I just stated earlier, your past, present, and future are all connected in one way. Okay, so what you do now affects the future. What you did in the past affects how you are and who you are now. So
Yeah.
past, present, and future are all connected. You get me there?
Yeah. It's all one
So
road.
it's all one road. It all, you know, who we are, where we've been. It makes us who we are,
Right.
and but who we are is still our choice to decide. You can let your past affect who you are now and who you're going to be, or you can. The connection is also the connection of the here and now. And one thing that a lot of people, especially with social media these days, it's all everything wants everything now. But like, I encourage people to be in the now, live in the moment,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
I struggle
try
with that though too.
just enjoy because
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not, yeah, it is hard. And it's something that you have to like think about. You have to like, you know what? That's,
That's when mind
what
power
is right
comes
here,
in.
right now. And it is. And it's all these things that we're talking about. They're a
They
lot
just all go
easier said
together.
than done. They all go together, yes. And it's a mindset. It's something you have to work on. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it whatsoever. I'm
Right.
definitely not saying that.
You're
It's
just
a work in
aware.
progress.
Yeah.
I'm aware, which another topic for another day, self-awareness, which we're gonna get
Hmm.
into. That's a huge topic.
Yeah.
But I think just that just that little bit of awareness, as I asked you, how the podcast has helped you, just that little bit of awareness of one, what impact you can have. What just a small amount, just an hour out of your week, how big of an impact that has had, and that
Right.
connection that you've had. It comes with, you gotta put it, there's gonna be some conversations. There's gonna be eventually people that don't agree with some of the stuff we're saying, or some people want to combat. That's
Of
something
course.
that, you know, um, but conversation is good, and let's talk about stuff. We don't need to argue. Let's talk.
Right. Get your point of
And
view across without turning it into an argument. We're
right,
entitled to our own opinions.
and some other people might have some opinions that, hey, we didn't really think about. That's why
Right.
there's somebody once told me when I was first starting the show that it really opened my eyes as far as like we think that we're small as far as like there's 7 billion people, let's say, on the earth. So you're small. You're just one of 7 billion
Right.
people.
Right.
But you are the only you out
Right.
of 7 billion people. That
True.
makes you incredibly unique. You are the
I
only
like that.
person with you. Yeah. And this changed my, because I was trying to come up with, this was in the early stages of Misunderstood, and I was trying to come up with what the show was going to be about, and this friend of mine told me this, and I was like, that's like, you are the only you out of 7 billion. That makes you incredibly unique,
One of
and
a
it's like,
kind.
what,
Yeah.
one of a kind, exactly. You
Yeah.
are the only Jessica Bauman. Like you.
I'm
There's
one of a
nobody
kind.
like, I've never met anybody like, you know, one of a kind. And that
Yeah.
makes you unique. And that makes what you have to say, and that makes your opinion unique. And it's worth people listening to, especially when you want to express it in a way of positivity. And we're trying to do a good thing. We're trying to, you know, encourage
Yeah.
people in any way that we can.
Yes. I
So,
agree with you. And thank you.
oh, man, no mention it. I thank you.
Don't
Thank
worry
you.
about it.
Hey, appreciate you and doing the show, and it's been a ton of fun. So
Yeah.
I think it's about time. So the laws of karma. Everybody, like I said, I encourage you to go ahead and explore some of that world yourself and think about your karma. Um, It's important.
Like he said in the past,
So should we
present,
get
and
into
future.
our top six?
Let's do
Yes,
it.
I mean, all right, ladies and gentlemen, our top six picks list all time reggae.
Okay, so ladies first, obviously.
That's right.
Okay, I am going to go with Gimme Love by Collie Buds from 2008.
Very nice.
A
Collie
lot of
Buds.
people
I know
probably
you're a
don't know
big
who that
Collie.
is. Yeah.
No, I know you're a big Collie Buds fan. I've been so looking forward. Like my list is just, I feel like gonna be like you could pick your just. I've been
Basic.
very looking. Yeah, I've kind of mixed it up, but I've been really looking forward to your list. So Collie Buds.
I'm
What
really
was the name
into,
of that
here's the
one
thing
again?
though, I'm really into, like, I love the original um Jamaican style Bob Marley reggae, but I also like the new, what is it, like rock, hip hop type reggae or pop. I don't know what it is, but Collie Buds kind of falls in that category.
Yeah. Hey, do you? Do you?
YOLO.
Well, shoot. I'm gonna go ahead and
Shoot dadoo.
I'm gonna go ahead with Damian Marley, 2005. Welcome to Jam Rock.
Oh, you didn't take my song. I got so nervous. That is a good one. I
Ooh,
love some Damian Marley.
me too.
Okay, so I'm going to follow that with another Damian Marley song. And it says it came out in 2010, but I'm going to sit here and say the internet is a damn lie. Because I swear I remember listening to this song when we used to when I used to drive around with Ryan. But it is called Road to Zion, Damian Marley.
Oh, that's a great song. I
So good.
forgot all about that one.
So good. And
Oh
after
man, I'm gonna.
watching him live was probably, it just made me like him even more. I love me some Damien. He's a beautiful person.
You, you get a lot of good reggae fests down there in Florida, right?
We have one once a year that's called Reggae Rise Up, and me and Ben have
Mm.
gone a handful of times. But yeah, it's just a whole weekend of listening to good music. They've had Stephen Marley, Damian Marley, Collie Buds, um,
Then you met
Shay.
Julian, right?
I met Joe
Didn't you meet
Mersa.
Julian?
No, I met Joe
Joe
Mersa
Mercer.
Marley.
Oh,
One
I
of
thought it was
Bob's Stephen Mar I think it's Stephen Marley's son.
okay.
But he was here in St. Augustine.
That's cool.
Yeah. Good
The
times.
Marley
So
family. I mean,
if
they're gonna
anybody is
like. It's
into
hard to pick a
reggae,
reggae.
I was gonna say if anybody's into reggae and loves a good festival, hit me up. Reggae Rise Up. It's usually in March. It's
There
a
we
good time.
go. Hit up the channel. Comment if you're a reggae fan. I mean, how can you not be a reggae fan? I mean, it's just listening to just chill music.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go with Mr. Peter Tosh, Johnny Be Good from 1983. You
I
familiar?
don't know if I know that one.
You
I'm
gotta
not
check
good
it
with
out.
names.
That's all right. Usually, when you're listening to reggae, you're not really worried about what
Yeah,
name. If
right?
you
For
catch
real.
my drift. But so and now what I'll do again is put a list together for all of our listeners of all of our reggae songs, our own little reggae hit list. So, Johnny Be Good by Peter Tosh will be on
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
your pick.
Okay.
It's great.
My pick is I'm gonna go with Ganja Farmer by J Boog 2007. And I don't know if a lot of people know who he is, but he's amazing to see live too. He's a very good performer. And that just whole song just has a good, what is it called? Like vibe to it, hook to it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You
yeah,
just can't
that's
help but
it's kind of the point of reggae. Is you just
you
all right.
feel it. You just feel it.
You just can't be in a bad mood when you're listening to reggae. It just is. It's not possible.
It's very
You
hard.
know.
It's very
You just
hard.
you're like it just.
You just
So guys,
smile
I
and
was
jam out.
prepping for the show today. I'm listening to this. I'm like, man, just
It
the
makes you want to
music, the
be
vibe, the drums.
it just makes you want to be at the beach with a cocktail in one hand and smoking in the other one.
You know, I agree with that. So,
100%.
your pick, my pick.
Yours.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick my lone Bob Marley song that I put on the list because one, I could just do a list of all Bob Marley.
Right.
That would be because obviously he's like the godfather of reggae music. Really, like I'm sure people will combat that, but like let's be real, Bob Marley. I'm gonna go Buffalo Soldier,
Oh, that's a
1980.
good one. That is a good one. I'm surprised I didn't
Great
think of
song.
that one.
I had to pick the meaning behind it, just the the beat, everything. Buffalo Soldier, fantastic song.
Well, then
Listen to
I'm going to
that
piggyback off your Bob Marley
every day, all the
because
time.
I only
All
have
right.
one Bob Marley too. And this one is Could You Be Loved? Bob Marley and the Wailers from 1980.
To be loved. That's a great song.
It
There's
really
so
is.
many. Like, I mean, that's a
The
great
Wailers were good too.
the Wailer. Yes, you have to include. I don't. I guess I didn't. I don't know if the Wailers were included in Buffalo Soldier, but it was Bob Marley and the Wailers, who of course were the band
Yeah,
that played all his music. Ultra, like epic, all time. The Wailers don't get enough credit for their jams.
right.
All right, here's where I get into my generic version of my list. I'm
Okay.
gonna go. I'm gonna go Inner Circle, Bad Boys, 1993. It's the cop song.
Oh, yeah. I thought about that one too, and I was like, that is so
I
basic.
had to pick it. It is. It's basic as hell.
See, but I know way too much just to pick these
I know you do.
basic.
And we kind of put this together at the last minute. I hate to say, I was busy with some other stuff today, and I'm like, hey, we got to put a list together. Let's do
Yeah.
reggae. And I kind of
You
hastily put
can't go
my list
wrong.
together.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong with the old school reggae songs. Though. You just can't.
No, you
Everybody knows them.
right.
Everybody.
And I tried to base mine off of like, how do I feel when I listen to it? Like, does it
Yeah.
instantly like make me feel like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then put it in there. And I'll
That's
have
what I
some
did
honorable
too.
mentions. You, you know, just like how does it make me feel like some other stuff like yeah, it's great songs, but like how do I feel when I listen to the song? Am I instantly like like you hear that
Right.
bad boys, everybody gonna do it's
What you gonna do when they
and
come
also I
for
put
you?
it everybody
Yeah.
knows. Even if you
Everybody. For real though, and you
know
wouldn't even think that was reggae either. It's kind of funny.
it,
And well, until they start, the
until you
chorus
get into
doesn't.
the actual song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. My next song is I don't know if a lot of people know him. He is banned from playing in the US, but his name
What?
it's Untold Stories by Buju Banton from 1995. How does it go? Let me see if I can give you a little
Really?
to the father. I can't. Nope, I'm not doing it. But Buju
I'll
Banton,
look it up.
he was arrested from bringing in I don't know if it was some kind of drugs into the United States, so he went to jail for a while and then now he's banned from here, which really sucks because It's a good reggae artist right there.
How do you get banned from the U.S. of A.?
Because he's not from here. And he
Way to go,
smuggled in
USA.
drugs. Yeah, and he smuggled drugs. So
Okay.
they were like,
All right. I
nope.
get it.
But he only smuggled them for his personal use. Come on now, let the man live his life.
It's like, I'm just trying to get high, man.
Right.
They didn't believe him. They're like, there's no way that you can do this money.
They're like,
this
not
amount
all
of
that's
drugs.
for
And they're
you,
like,
sir.
that motherfucker was like, hold my beer, bro. You don't know about reggae, man. Shit.
Right.
All right. You know, look at Mick Jagger. That motherfucker's sneaking in drugs in his veins when he comes over here. And Keith Richards.
Ugh.
My number 5 pick. We're already at number 5. Shoot, I got a lot of picks left, or at least a lot of options. I'm gonna go Eni Camus' "Here Comes the Hot Stepper," number 1994.
What song is that?
Na 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 na.
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. That's
See,
one of
I
my,
don't know
and
the
that's why I'm
names of a
like,
lot of
dude,
these songs,
this
but
is
I do know what it
one of my
is.
favorite songs of all time.
That is a good one. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go jam with
Right?
that.
You've
Me and
heard it,
Ben.
and it's a jam. It's a
Check my snaps
such a
later. Me
good
and Ben
jam.
are gonna be dancing.
Word.
Okay, so we're what? We're on my last one. This one is Mad Mad World by Shaggy and Collie Buddz from 2007. He's like,
Ooh,
it's a mad, mad world that we living in.
nice shot.
Ah,
That's very
I don't
well
know.
done there.
This is why I don't quit my day
So,
job.
no, you did well. You did well. I like it. It's always good to have a little bit of a little taste of what the music really sounds like, so we know
Oh yeah, and I
what you're
sounded
talking
just
about.
like it. I'm the next Taylor Swift. Calm down.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeehaw.
So I got a 4-way tie for my number 6.
Oh,
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna round out our top 6 picks. Reggae. Okay, I'm gonna throw out 4 songs, and you're gonna pick the top one. Okay.
okay. Okay.
All right. This will be fun. It's a fun little
Okay.
exercise.
It's a
So
game.
I got Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. Everybody knows that song.
It's a good one.
Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now.
Ugh,
This
that's a
is,
good
like I
one
said,
too.
the basic. Barrington Levy, Murderer. I don't know if you're familiar. The great.
Is
It
it
sounds
like?
dark, but it's a great song. And
No,
then
because that one's Taylor.
Bomb Bomb by Sister Nancy,
Ooh, bomb.
1982.
Bomb. Beat. Oh yeah,
Bomb Bomb.
that one. Hmm.
That was my pick too. Yeah.
That's a good
Bum
one. I
bum
love.
bum bum beat 'em.
Beat 'em,
Bum
bum
bum.
bum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one for
I
sure.
I love that one. All right, Bomb Bomb Sister
That was
Nancy. That is
easy.
mine. Easy.
Get it, Sister
But I shout out.
Nancy.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna
Great
do an
song. It's
honorable
like,
mention.
all right.
This is by Dirty Heads, and it's called Rage. And I'm not like into like rock. It's kind of got like a rock twist to it. And I'm not really into like
Yep.
crazy heavy metal stuff, but this one's just so good. It's like, I still got
Oh,
rage. Anyway, it's a
can you
good
say
one. You
that
should listen
again?
to it. No.
What was it?
Oh, I thought you were trying to get me to sing. It's called Rage by Dirty Heads. Also, listen to some Slightly Stupid.
That is our top 6 picks list. All time reggae songs, which could probably go on, and we could just sit here and listen to reggae all night. And, you know,
For real.
maybe roll some up past some. No, we don't do that around here.
Oh, yeah, we don't. Hey, Papa.
$80 in the house.
Yeah, hold on.
So we'd all like, as a personal friend, I'd like to thank Mr. Ben Bowman for providing the resources necessary to produce this podcast on the other end of the link in Florida. Here he is, Mr. Big Daddy Dollars himself, everybody.
Here he is, Mr. Big Daddy Dollars.
The man, the myth, the legend.
What's happening, brother?
You know,
how you doing?
Same old, brother. Out here slamming some estimates together.
Finally getting back. It's like damn near 11 o'clock Florida time, and my guy's just getting back from work. You know, self-made man, self-made business owner.
Money's not going to make itself.
We appreciate what. That's right. And as I was just telling all our listeners, thank you for, your part in all of this and supporting Jessica and our venture in this podcast, and also for your, your information, your advice, going forward. Like you and I, I've never actually met in person, but we're still. I feel like you're a good friend of mine. Like you've given me good advice. I've been through shit and you've been there for me. And I do talk about that a lot, and I, appreciate it, man.
Man, no, I appreciate that. I mean, people are people. You're a good person, man. You should be there whether you've known somebody for your whole life or not. You should always be there for somebody who's going through something. That's the way humans should be. Unfortunately, there's so many people are so jaded against, I've had this happen, I've had that happen. So they treat other people like, crap, or they're dismissive about their feelings like they don't matter. And to me, that's one of those situations where if you don't like something that happened to you, why are you passing it along to somebody else? We all deal with crap. We all have bad days, but, got to be there for other people when they're having one too.
Of humility right there.
That's it, brother.
Last week is just, having compassion for other people and what other people are going through, and one, not judging people on where they're at in life, because you never really know. I can sit up here on a podcast and it maybe look all hunky dory, but I still got shit I'm dealing with, and every day, and I want to talk to people and hear their stories. And
I got a guy that works with me, and
by the way,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, by the way, brother, your podcast voice is absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio. You have a great
voice for this. You got a face for radio, but you got a voice for, oh, man.
I mean, like you were just saying, you never really know what somebody's going through. I got a guy that works with me, and I mean, he comes to work, puts the happy face on, he's all hunky dory, and we're sitting there the other day, and I just hear him in passing. He's like, yeah, I mean, when I lost my daughter, and I mean, this guy's probably 10 years younger than me. He's probably early 30s. And I didn't know he lost his young daughter in a car wreck a few years ago. And I was quiet. I was giving him a ride home, and I was quiet for a few seconds. I looked at her. I said, P, I didn't even know that. His name's Patrick. I said, P, I didn't even know that, bro. And I said, just knowing how I've been around you these last couple of weeks, just started working with me. I said, I got to say, bro, I don't know that I would be anywhere near as put together as you if that had happened to me. I may be, there for other people and a pretty nice guy, but you take something like that from my soul, and I don't know if I'd be able to come back from something like that, man. So just seeing that just gives me a whole new respect for him, and he's not one of those pity party people running around talking about how, oh, this happened to me and everything, I mean, now granted, some people deal with, grief different, but he's one of those guys that, there's nothing he can do to change it. It's that hurt anytime you think about it, but he pushes through, he perseveres, and he's there for his other children. He didn't just turn it, that's the only thing that would keep me on the rails is my other kid, you know what I mean? And my wife.
Right.
Because we'd both be going through it.
Yeah.
Well, Si.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That's my biggest fear. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Sorry, there's a lag. All right,
brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm going to dive back into these, man, and it's my biggest fear, too. My dad always said to me when I was wild and crazy, he said, listen, you're never supposed to bury your kids. Don't be stupid.
But, you're the man, Ben Bowman. Appreciate you.
Good seeing you, man. I'll talk to you later, brother. You guys do your thing.
All right, brother. Yep.
Hello, mate.
Hello, hello. And
The star
that's
of the
so cool
show.
because it's like, that's awesome because, like, you know, a lot of people may be wondering the dynamic between like you and I, like how close we are as friends and why it works is because of, a guy like Ben. And, we can be as close as we are. And like I've said, Ben's fucking awesome. There you go,
He
everybody.
really
You get
is.
to know exactly, who that man is and why this works. And it's so cool because I can have somebody like you be my, like, literally like my best friend, like, and everything is cool, cool, cool. And
I would be your best man at your wedding if you ever had one again.
that would be so funny. I would make you wear a suit.
You wouldn't have to make
You'd
me. I'd
have to wear
hella
a
wear a
tux.
suit. I would wear one.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. If I ever get married again,
Okay,
you
here's
are
the
my
goal.
best man.
You need to get married just so I can wear a tuxedo and Converse on your wedding day.
Facts. I'll just marry somebody like, hey, I gotta get married. And it's probably gonna be in Vegas, so it'd be a good time.
Ooh, yeah. Give me advance so I can save money so I can spend it all at the casinos.
Hey, I'll help you make some money out there. I know how to do that. Trust me. We went to the casino.
Yeah, it was
A
very
little bit,
short
made a
lived
little
because I
money.
ended up getting a freaking migraine, so I don't even want to talk about it. Didn't even get a chance to really play.
Yeah, we were about to have lunch and then all right. Anyways. So, well, I was just rebound by that topic. It was a great time. It was a great
Anyways.
scene too.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the point of the show where I would like to ask you if you have anything you would like to say in closing.
Ooh, you always when I get put on the spot, I like clam up. You know what? Just be happy. Find what makes you happy. Mine's Starbucks. Find what makes you happy. And just do it.
Piece of advice. And that works directly into this and what we're doing is because for whatever reason I felt like I had a calling and I needed to do this. I needed to. And you know what? This podcasting, the hour or however long it takes us to do this, talking to you and doing our podcast, it makes me happy. It's fun. And reaching out to people and spreading a good word of humanity and humility. It makes me freaking happy. I look forward to it every week. I look forward to talking to people about it. I look forward to spreading the word. And just it's a way, hey, you and I have our weekly, not that we don't talk all week long, but like we have our weekly little thing that we're doing. And it's fun. Like we talked
Right. It's
about
like
earlier. It's good to
our
just,
weekly hangout sesh.
yeah, we get together, we chit chat, we talk about, stuff that, is real and stuff we need to talk, stuff we might not talk about just on a phone call that we usually have, because hey, let's prioritize some things we want to talk about, but
Right.
it's essentially the same damn thing. Really. I mean, there's not a whole
really
lot
is.
of difference between
It's
this
just us
and
recording
any
us
other phone
talking.
call that you and I have had. And, trying to have a little bit of organization under the conversation, but do things that
Are
make
we
you
really-
happy. And
Are we
what's
really
that?
organized though?
No, not at all. We ramble is all over the friggin' place.
Squirrel.
No. We're just trying to have a little bit. I'm just trying a little bit of just a little. So we're not just, but like you said, that's a beautiful thing to say. Like last week, smile. This week, do what makes you happy. And if anybody can take something from this podcast, it is just that. Do what makes you happy. Whatever that is. As long as it's not like
hurting somebody.
Don't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. unless
Fishing,
we
reading a
already
book, writing, coloring, painting, eating.
be creative. I encourage people to be creative. Like
Mhm.
there was a question that I wanted to ask you, kind of, but I didn't. But like, as far as like, it's an artistic question, as far as like how artwork affects our, society. And artwork can come in the form of music. What we're doing,
Mhm.
I consider, it's your art form, whatever you're doing, and that creative thing that's been going on for the entire, you know, length of mankind. When if you want to go back to petroglyphs on cave walls, there's a form of artwork that
Mhm.
humankind has made, and they probably
Artwork
felt
slash
good when they put
language.
those. Yeah, so it's very important, I believe, to humanity and one's self worth. Your
Yeah.
contribution to Earth, and you are making your contribution as one of 7 billion. Jessica, you are making your contribution. I am very proud of you. I am very appreciative. I am very thankful.
Well,
And
thank you.
everyone, oh yeah. Oh, thank you, and thank you for doing the show. It's been
My
great
pleasure.
and awesome. So everyone, don't forget, once again, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also share with your friends the Misunderstood podcast, available on YouTube and on Spotify, by the way. We're on
Oh.
Facebook. You can check us out there worldwide. We have viewers on us already worldwide. We have viewers from a bunch of different countries I can't really remember, but we are actually worldwide already. Well, that's cool.
Oh, my
And
Lanta.
yeah, it's a thing.
I'm gonna start having
So
to walk around with a Sharpie for autographs.
yeah, you're gonna need to start signing autographs, and everyone just know who this lady is, Mrs. Jessica Bowman. Thank you for watching. This has been Misunderstood.